Aideron Robotics.
Hey, Billy Daniels here from Aideron Robotics, trying to answer one of the most asked questions by new players or new to faction warfare players is how can I make some ISK out of this faction warfare gig? So we're going to quickly just talk about plexing because that's probably one of the easiest ways. I mean, there are a number of ways. Faction warfare agent missions, as your skills develop down the track, become very profitable, but in the interim, plexing is pretty much how you should be going about making your money. Now, there are two types of plexing, O-plexing and D-plexing. O-plexing stands for offensive plexing, which is you taking plexes in Caldari held systems. D-plexing is defensive plexing, you taking plexes in Galente held systems. You pay the payouts for O-plexing are significantly higher. We'll talk about the numbers shortly. However, the biggest difference is in an O-plex you need to kill NPC or non-player rats that turn up during the plexing process. So you need to make sure you have the skills and the damage output in your ship to be able to deal with that. Now, for lower skilled players or in small frigates like our Asgard fit, that really limits you to the novice plexes predominantly, maybe some of the smalls as your skills get greater. Because you need to have enough damage output to deal with these rats. Not the case in D-plexing. You could sit your little Asgard frigate in a large plex, run it down D-plexing, and earn the LP. Now, let's talk some numbers about the LP, just to get a bit of an idea of how this all is affected. Now, if I can pull these up, we can have a look. All right. The tiers represent the war zone control. At the moment, Galente is in tier 3, flickering in and out of tier 2, tier 3. Now, tier 2 is the normal base level. So let's look at the base rates for plexing. If you O-plex a novice plex, you're looking at 10,000 LP. Now, you can do a basic conversion on that in terms of ISK to say, look, for every 1,000 LP, you're looking at 1 million ISK. So if you run down a novice O-plex at tier 2, you could work on about 10 million roughly as your ISK, and I'll show you shortly how to take that LP and convert it into ISK. Tier 3, where we are at the moment, just on the verge of dropping back, but we are at tier 3. I could run that novice O-plex and basically make about 17.5 million ISK. And that's for 10 minutes work. Now, not quite 10 minutes because the timer is 10 minutes, but by the time I have to deal with the NPC rats, it may blow out to 13, 14, 15 minutes. So that's one way. Earn your LP, which stands for loyalty points, and shortly we'll have a look at how you turn them into ISK, but there's basically a store where you can buy items with your LP, and then you just sell those items on the market to make your ISK. The other thing I want to point you towards is D-plexing. Now, D-plexing, the rewards are diminished. So, for example, D-plexing, you only get 75% of the normal rate. So if I was D-plexing a novice in tier 3, I'd get 75% of the 17.5. Then I would only keep the percentage of that amount based on the contested rate of the system. So you can see I've got a little example down here. A novice in a 25% contested system, if I was D-plexing, 10,000 at tier 2 times the 25% for the contested rate times 75%, only 1,500 LP, around about 1.5 million. However, there's nothing to stop me in my little frigate D-plexing a large plex. It takes me 20 minutes. I don't have to deal with any rats. I don't have to worry about killing them, because I couldn't in an O-plex. I could not kill the rats in a large with my little frigate. I don't have the output. Now, just to give you some numbers, if I can find a system, a Galente held system that is 45% or more contested, I'm earning the same ISK or the same LP as O-plexing a novice. So for a few extra minutes work, I can run down a large, not have to deal with rats, possibly be in a nice quieter corner of the solar system. Either way, you've got the option. Go in O-plex, deal with the rats, deal with the war targets, come in, have a bit of fun, exciting, find somewhere maybe quiet that's reasonably contested, and D-plex and earn my LP that way. And because I don't need to deal with the rats, my little frigate can do this quite easily. So that's, I guess, in a nutshell, what plexing is. Here's a quick example of one I did earlier. I took my little frigate, my little Asgard frigate here out, found a large that was around about 40% contested, ran it down. A couple of little pirate issues that you'll see here. But I earned out of this just a bit over 15,000 LP, which I'll be able to convert to around about 15 odd million ISK for what turned out to be just a little bit over 20 minutes work. Let's have a look. Alright, so we've entered the system of Vifravat, and I've selected a large that I saw. Now I want to check first of all, sorry the audio seemed to not appear on this recording when I did it, but I'm checking my D-scan just to make sure there's nothing there. I can see there's a war target in system. I want to make sure he's not at the large. I've used my D-scan to check that is the case. It looks clear, so I'm now heading off to that large to start running it down. I'm going to keep an eye on that war target. It's the only other ship in the system, so I just want to make sure. I don't know what he's doing. I know he's not at the large, but I do want to just keep my wits about me whilst he's in local. I'm going to select the beacon, the large beacon, orbit it at about 25 kilometers, and you'll see it starts the 20-minute countdown timer, and that's it. I'm just going to run this down. You can see the NPC rat is there, but I don't need to worry about him. Now, I'm part way through. I'm quite a bit of the way through. I was just doing a bit of research on a ship here when I noticed on my D-scan a Punisher pops up. Quickly close that window because I lost track of my local there for a minute. I can see a neutral pirate has entered. So all I do, don't panic, click the iHub or any other celestial, align to it, and wait for that thing to crop up. Here he is. So I just hit my warp 2. I'm already aligned to the iHub. I'll just run out of here. I know he's not going to run this Plex down. He's not in faction warfare. He's a neutral. He's a pirate. On the way, you'll see I just quickly created a little bookmark there because I realized that I didn't have any in system. Reason being, when I land, I want to bounce straight back to my bookmark just in case he follows me to the iHub. I don't want to be chased around various celestials, so I do want to get back to a safe spot. And I didn't have any, so I just quickly created one on the fly there. I'll bounce back to that safe spot, and then I'll be able to just D-scan that large Plex. When it's clear of that pirate, if he's not there, then I know I'm safe to return. So I'm just going to do a quick scan of my large. I see he's disappeared off local anyway. He's no longer in system. It's safe for me to go back. The war target isn't there. So I'm going to go back and resume normal service. Alright, getting close to the end of this 20-minute Plex. 1 minute or so to go, and as often is the case in faction warfare, nothing quite goes to plan. Just when I'm thinking I've had no problems with this war target, one pirate came and bugged me. We're awesome, we're just about to run this down, and then I see on my D-scan, because I'm constantly checking, there it is, an Enyo pops up, and I can see in local I've got 2 other pilots come in. Just do the same thing, align to the iHub, don't panic. Hit align, that way you're already ready to warp if they do come into your Plex, and as you'll see in a moment, they do pop up, or at least one. So I just jump out of there. Sorry, I warp out of there to my iHub. I've already got my little safe spot set up, so I'm just going to repeat the same process I did last time. Bounce off the iHub, come back to my safe, wait for the Plex to be clear, and come back. And this is a couple of 20 seconds later. They weren't going to stay around. They can't run the Plex. I can see that they've left the system. I'm going to walk back to my large. Shouldn't be too long on it because it was pretty close when I left, but it certainly wasn't finished. So when I get back there, I've just got a little bit to do. And as I get within 30 Ks, you'll see my timer pop up. Great. Only a few seconds left to run this down. And then I will get my LP. So let's wait and see what I earn. Little notification pops up that says you've been awarded some loyalty points. Have a look at the little notice. And I can see for my efforts, my just over 20 minutes worth of work here, I've earned 15,750 loyalty points, which is great. I'm going to convert that into about 15.5 million ISK. So 20 odd minutes work, a little bit of activity, but always be checking your D-scan because you'll see at this point those 2 pirates are back, the Punisher and the Enyo. So don't hang around gloating over your success.